to If These Walls Could Talk. You're here with Wendy Stuart, and I'm sure you're wondering where Tim Moss is. Well, he's here today, but he's in the potty. That's right. Sometimes nature calls, and we just don't have a choice. But he will be here momentarily. As a matter of fact, here he comes right now. Hi, Tim.
Hello. Sorry I'm late. I always have to go to the bathroom before we aired, and we got to talking and chatting. I was like, oh my God, we're running out of time.
Does this show make you want to go to the bathroom?
No.
Is that the effect that this show has on you?
I just let go of everything.
Did you let go of everything? It's like this show makes his bladder burst.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how many of you out there, if that happens to you, you can always tell us in the chat. We engage.
Well, I drink a lot of iced tea.
Oh, that's very,
and if I don't go to the bathroom before the show, I'm going to have to go halfway through. So, but anyway, welcome to If These Walls Could Talk.
This is so much fun being here today. We're finally getting into that really cool fall weather.
Yes,
I'm not sure how I
absolutely.
feel about that, Tim.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a summer girl, but
I love this weather. This is me.
you do.
Totally.
This
A
is
sweatshirt, jeans. I'm great.
Oh,
I'm
you like
good.
to be layered this time
Yeah,
of year.
absolutely.
You're
But
like-
this is a very special day. We have a birthday in the house.
we do.
Yes, we do.
We do.
It is your husband's birthday,
Alan
Kaplan. Yay.
Happy birthday, Alan Kaplan. Alan is hitting the big 80 today.
Yes.
Yay. Now, don't
Yes.
you all feel so young? That's why surround yourself with people that are 80 and older, because then
Yes.
you'll feel forever young.
Yes, but Alan, every week he makes us look so pretty because he puts up the lights. He does the lighting, and every week. So thank you and happy birthday,
Happy
Alan.
birthday, Alan. And so that when we're 80, we'll be lit. So we'll
Yeah.
still look like we're 40. It's so beautiful, isn't it, Tim?
Absolutely. Now, last weekend I went to it was a rally, I guess, an LGBT rally for one of the many things I did last weekend. For Eric Adams, who just got elected. He got elected. He's our new mayor here in New York City, which everybody kind of figured.
Yeah.
A lot of people are kind of questioning Eric Adams, but again, there's no choice. He's definitely our mayor. But we had a rally, all of the LGBT community leaders, and we had like Chuck Schumer was there, and Jerry Nadler,
Very cool.
and all the local politicians like Gail Brewer, the Manhattan Borough president, and just everybody, city council people. My friend Richie Torres, who's a U.S. senator or a U.S. congressman, was there, and basically to basically let him know that we are powerful, that our community is powerful,
Absolutely.
and what is expected of him.
Right.
And one of my favorite lines
Yes.
that was said was there was a trans woman that got up to speak, and to finish her speech, she said, "And I just want to tell you, Eric Adams, if you have our back, we have yours."
Wow. And well put.
And it
Well put.
exploded. The place
Right.
exploded. So I have confidence
Oh,
because
I
after
have-
that rally.
Listen, after de blah, 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 who's now, de Blasio, is now going to be running for governor.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he put
Oh,
in to run for governor. Oh, please. It would be a total disaster.
yeah.
He was one of
Well,
the
we've
worst
got-
mayors that we ever had in New York.
Well, Attorney General Tish James is running, and Hochul, who is the acting, or who is the current governor. So it'll be interesting. It'll be good.
So while you were out there being political, I was being frivolous. I went to a really amazing party for an incredible designer, Phil Harris,
Mhm.
and it was at a beautiful spot called Kalari, right off of 44th Street. Amazing Greek food, by the way. I know this because my friend Nick Lyon went and had to have dinner
he's
there.
great.
He was schmoozing the waiters, because that's what Nick does.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he went there for dinner this week. The food was really amazing, and the crowd was unbelievable. It was so successful. We're doing it again this week. Thursday night, tomorrow night is Robert Sosa's birthday party. Robert
fun.
heads up the New York Model Society, of which I am the spokesperson.
Mhm.
And we hope you'll all join us there. It's called Kalari, and I think I should learn how to spell Kalari.
It's not Caligari.
No, it's Kalari Taverna, and it's
Uh-huh.
right off of 44th Street, and it's wonderful Greek food and the atmosphere to die for. So it's all good.
Sweet. Well, I did a couple of other things
Yes.
this weekend. In addition to that, was Wonderama had
Oh yeah, the Wonderama thing.
a thing in Times Square which was very fun, and I covered that for
UBC.
our good friend Eileen Shapiro
Cool.
was doing the PR, and she asked if I would go over and cover that, so I did that, and then I came down to where we are right now, which is PANGEA, to see my friend Katie do her cabaret show, which was absolutely
What's
brilliant.
Katie's last name? Who is Katie?
I wish you wouldn't have asked me that. Katie Nailhausen, I think, is Nailhausen.
Okay.
I always have trouble with her last
again,
name.
though, if people want.
Oh yes.
Great.
And yeah, she does a Carpenter, a tribute to the Carpenters.
I love it.
And it was just so nostalgic. And her voice, she's not doing an imitation of Karen Carpenter, but it's her. But it's such beautiful renditions of these songs, and it's so nostalgic, and it was just such
who
a
didn't
wonderful
love
show.
the Carpenters, right?
And she brought all of that back. She brought all that back. It was wonderful.
That's so great. Well, speaking of incredible people that sing, wonderful, incredible people that sing. Today we have someone that a voice. I say a voice like an angel, like has been compared to like fluty, sultry, this singer, songwriter, artist, producer, just an amazing force of a voice.
Yes.
Who has suffered for his art. A round of applause for Coby Koehl.
Yay, Coby Koehl. We love Coby Koehl. Yay, there he is.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful introduction. Thanks for having me.
I love that you suffered for your art.
Yeah.
It's like one of the coolest things I read about you. I'm like, yes,
Thank you.
Said it. That's right. Artists suffer.
Yeah.
We suffer.
Well, you have to sacrifice a lot to do what you love sometimes, or most of the time. You don't always get the support you want when you start. You have to give up certain things, certain relationships. People aren't always supportive when you have dreams. And there are sacrifices, but I have no regrets, and I feel really blessed to do what I love, because life is too short to not do what you love, and that's basically why I'm a happy person most of the time.
Most of the
well,
time.
absolutely, and also in this American capitalist system that they do not support the arts. It's they expect the artists and the arts to support themselves, and that makes it very difficult to even lift up and get started in the industry. So yes, power to you. Power to you.
Coby,
thank you so much.
Not for nothing. I'm not just saying this because you're on the show. There's so many incredible singers. Your voice, your sound is absolutely exceptional.
Thank you.
You've been
Thank you so much.
To Al Green, Luther Vandross. I mean, you're a white Jewish boy. How did this happen? The voice is exceptional.
Absolutely.
I can listen to you over and over again. I told you
Thank
that.
you so much.
Now, this voice you were born with, I want the story behind the voice.
Honestly, I've been singing since I was a kid. I sang before I spoke, according to my mother. And then I started off singing, Broadway show tunes and Streisand and Shirley Bassey and, Frank Sinatra. And as I got older, I got into, Terrence Trent D'Arby and George Michael. And then I went to High School of the Performing Arts, where I learned about gospel music and jazz and singing in the church. Being Jewish, you don't get to sing in a church, but I went to a High School of the Performing Arts, and it gave me such a great opportunity to really get drenched in the gospel music, which really changed the way I listen to music, the kind of music that I love, the feeling in music, the interpretation. And I think gospel music is really a huge inspiration for me. And that's what really, I think I get a little bit of my sound from, that soulfulness.
I'll tell you something.
Growing up in the church, basically.
I love that. And also, I will throw this in, because of your Jewish, your background. I don't know if you were bar mitzvah.
I am.
Okay. Both Alan and I, my husband, whose birthday it is today, we feel
Happy birthday.
You have Coby gave you a happy birthday, like a chant, like a cantor. That is another quality that I picked up when I listened to your voice. It is like
Wendy, I have to give you credit. You have a good ear, because I actually studied to be a cantor for a little while. My mother really wanted me to be a cantor. And because I speak Hebrew, because I grew up in Israel till I was 12. I was born in Israel to American parents, and we lived there for 12 years, and then we moved back to the DC metropolitan area. I actually studied to be a cantor, but it wasn't something that I really wanted to do. I was forced to do it. So I didn't really appreciate what I learned from the cantor lessons until later on in life, where it actually, helped me with my singing, and I got to sing a lot of Jewish songs in some of my shows. So it all comes together and makes me who I am and gives me the voice that I have, which I feel really blessed to have, honestly.
Right. So you grew up until you were 12 in Israel. Very,
Yes.
It's very different than here. Did you grow up in Tel Aviv?
We grew up in Kfar Shmariau. Try to say that 10 times. It's near Herzliya, about half an hour from Tel Aviv.
Okay.
And then when we moved to Maryland, it was very different. I was 12 years old. I went to a junior high school called Ridgeview Junior High. The style was very different. The dress code was very different. I was a chubby, effeminate, homosexual 12-year-old from another country, basically, even though my parents were American. And there were swastikas in our driveway and gum on our door and, faggot this, Jewish this. There was a lot of that. So it was a big transition to come to the States. But, as I got older, I got acclimated and used to it, and things worked out. But the beginning was definitely very difficult. It's Maryland.
Right. And you're 12 years old.
Maryland.
12 years old, middle school is such an awful age. You're gay, you're foreign, okay,
and fat.
Right, and right, okay. You were overweight. I think you said. Did you speak English well when you came here?
Absolutely. I spent summers in the States with my grandparents who were American, so I did have a relationship with Florida, which I don't anymore, by the way. So I did spend time in the States pretty often. But moving here and being in Maryland, it was very different. When I visited the States, my grandparents lived in an old age community with their own houses, and they had golf courses and pools, and I didn't really see other kids. So when I had to interact with American kids in school, it was very different and very challenging. I dressed like the kids from Fame. I had the leg warmers and the jazzy shoes, and I wanted to be Doris. What I mean?
So I would imagine now you said you went to the High School of Performing Arts. That was just pivotal in support and change for who Coby Koehl was.
It was the greatest thing that I ever did for myself, because when I initially wanted to audition, my mother said, "You're never going to get in. You have terrible grades. You're not going to make it. I don't feel like driving." So I ended up going with a friend of mine, and I got in and she didn't. She never spoke to me again, unfortunately. And it was the greatest thing. It just changed my life completely. It really did. It really did make me who I am. It allowed me to be comfortable with my sexuality. I was with other talented people, and with great dancers, great singers, visual artists, great actors. My teachers were amazing. It was very inspiring. I was accepted and loved, and I learned a lot about the Black culture, which I really didn't know anything about. When you're not exposed to shit, you don't know shit. So it really... It changed my life. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. It's the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And it's so unfortunate that we don't support the arts enough, because honestly, that school saved my life. It saved my life.
Yeah, because I can't even begin to imagine, because I had to kind of find, I grew up in the countryside of Indiana, and where the arts it's something over there, it doesn't really exist in the mainstream. And then here I was, like, I never even knew any professional artists when I grew up. I didn't know that it was possible to make a living as an artist. And at that age, that nurturing to receive support, go to a school where they encourage this. Oh my God. I couldn't imagine just the blossoming that would have occurred.
Amazing.
It was a miracle. It really was. I went from being not accepted in Maryland to like the school that I was telling you about, to being totally embraced. And even though I was different, the ratio of white people in the school was very low, and I never felt more embraced and loved and encouraged. And I had one of the leads in the play, the musical, the first year I was there, and I was like blown away. To me, this was like Fame, the TV show Fame. You know what I mean? So it was a complete dream the first 2 years. Before you really feel that you deserve it and you belong there, you're still an outsider. And it just was really, I can't wait to go back there and sing there soon. I'm going to go back for like my 30th anniversary.
So
I'm
great.
excited
What
about
an inspiration for kids that are there, right?
Absolutely. Tell us about that.
I hope so.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I hope to be an inspiration to other people, you know?
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about returning there.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
For the 30th anniversary.
So, yes. Well, it's my 30th anniversary since I graduated from high school. So Dave Chappelle and I went to high school together. He was a year younger than me, or maybe even 2. And we were actually really good friends. He was a great kid, brilliant, already funny, already performing around town. I mean, he was 15 and already performing in nightclubs. He was an inspiration to us already because he was already professional, you know? Yeah. And so they're having the theater in the school named after him, and they asked me to come sing a song in his honor, or in some kind of variety show to raise money for the school. And I'm just really honored to be asked because, you know, it's been 30 years. The fact that they remember me and they want to include me, and he's going to be hosting the event is, to me, it's like, holy shit. I'm so honored, and thank you so much for remembering me. So I can't wait. That's going to happen in the spring.
Absolutely. So, well, Dave Chappelle, of course, right now is in the middle of a controversy in our community.
He's in a hot pot of soup.
Mostly in the trans community. But again, I can understand both sides. He's a comedian. I gave him a lot of credit for presenting what he presented to the predominantly Black community and starting the conversation. But a lot of the trans people, of course, but I think that's comedy. You know, you can never please everybody all the time, for one thing.
Well, absolutely. It's got to do with the political environment that we're in. You know, I think the number's 41 trans girls have been murdered.
Exactly. Right.
You know,
right.
What's happened, and plus all of the legislation that was attacking trans in the last couple of years, that has brought us to now. So we're, you know, we're dealing with very sensitive subjects now,
yes,
and
absolutely.
we all have to open up our ears and our eyes and
absolutely
and really listen.
Yes.
Well, I have a couple of things to say about it. First of all, there's always somebody that the Republicans want to blame about something. It's the gays or the bathrooms or the trans or the Mexicans. They're always pointing the finger at somebody else to distract from their own criminal activity that's going on over there. It's just unconscionable. And the thing about Dave Chappelle is, like, we don't always have to agree with everything that he says, but canceling people out because of the comedy. But what about Trump and all the things that he said about women of color on Twitter, about all the politicians that he didn't agree with? I mean, he was a bully. And let's not forget that he mass murdered 660,000 American citizens. We're ready to cancel Dave Chappelle. We're ready to vote for Donald Trump again. We need to really concentrate on what's really going on.
You brought up the dichotomy in our society right now. And if you want to go back, because you use the word Republicans, there used to be, I'm not Republican, I'm so far left, I'm almost in the ocean. But when we look at Republicans, we have to remember, my mom was a hardcore Republican. Let us say there used to be a meaning to what a Republican was. Sarah Palin came along, changed that meaning, and I don't understand why Republicans jumped on the Sarah Palin bandwagon, because she was the first one that was real fake news. Okay, and then he came along, all right, orange head, and picked up on that, and then we know the rest is history. To your point, you're right. Over 700,000 people have died while he went and got inoculated and masked when he had to. So, but your point, Coby, we're living in a society where you can bring up all of those things. And if you and I went into a room of his supporters, they would look like at us, and we could show them all the facts and statistics in the world. They would look at us and Tim like we all had two heads. So that's what you're dealing with. People have lost. I don't know why. I'm not a psychologist. Maybe somebody.
You know why? Fox News. Fox News is a terrorist attack against our own country. It has done nothing but it sells propaganda daily, you know, and it doesn't help us at all. It's anti-mask. It's anti all the things that we really need to make this country better. You know, people aren't wearing masks or getting vaccinated because of Fox News and Tucker Carlson, who are just sitting on their asses. By the way, they're vaccinated. You can't even get into the Fox News building without being vaccinated, but they're still pushing propaganda and false narratives to make money. And that's what it comes. That's where it comes from. Yeah. My
So what do
dad,
you
who's a
think-
Republican, who I love, who voted for Trump, thinks that Fox News is the greatest news organization in the world. And that just drives me nuts.
It's not officially a news organization. It is entertainment.
Right.
It is
That's what
labeled
it's
as
registered under with the FCC, right? Yeah.
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 Well, they register as entertainment so they can lie. So watching Fox News is like watching SNL. I mean, Tucker Carlson is a comedian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And a power bottom,
In a
I think,
very,
too.
very sad way.
But he doesn't get canceled for some reason.
Yeah, right.
Right. And he says terrible things every day. Right.
What do you think, Coby, that we as artists and affiliated with the LGBTQ community, now let's talk about going forward, because we all know what is. And you, me, and Tim all know what we want to change. What do you think each and every one of us can do sitting here?
Well, I think knowledge is really important, and we should really, if you're going to fight for something, if you're going to be interested in something, try to learn about it, try to get the facts and try to get many opinions and come up with your own opinion. I mean, I'm not telling people how to vote. I'm just telling people Fox News is not exactly your friend, I think Fox News is a really big problem.
They will throw it back at you and say, well, how do you know what the facts are? Is MSNBC, is that the facts? Is CNN the facts? You see where I'm going with this?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Listen, we're constituents. We need to know what we need. We need to, when we're going through COVID, we need COVID relief, right? We don't tell me you're pro-life and then block all of us from COVID relief for almost 12 months where people were starving who have children. You're telling me you're pro-life, but children in America are starving. There are bread lines that are miles and miles long. We're lucky. We live in New York. I think we know how to survive. People in the country had no jobs, the hillbillies and the hee-haws who voted for Trump, who got absolutely nothing from him, they worship him. And it's just really frightening. You need to know what you need in life. You need an education, you need a job, you need health care. It's common sense.
You need an education. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, I have a place in Milford, Pennsylvania, 1 hour and 40 minutes from here. The school board went against the mandate that the kids had to be masked. So our COVID numbers started going up, right? That school board was actually sued by the state of Pennsylvania. So then the masks are now on the kids. However, that school board ran again against another board that wanted, masking and do all the safe things. Guess which board just won the election in Milford, Pennsylvania, 1 hour and 40 minutes from here? The anti-maskers who broke the law. So firsthand, I've been dealing with this. I totally agree. Getting back to the point, you mentioned the word education. When I say education, I don't mean, going to college, getting a master's degree. That's all well and good. But how do
I didn't get a master's degree.
Right. How do you want to enlighten and reach the rest of America? Okay, boys, go for it. This is singing. No,
exactly.
You know what? I believe through your art, you really
just
can.
being an example. I think.
Right. I had someone on my show that said that the artists are really the essential workers.
Yeah.
That we are the essential workers. We can talk about this, but Coby, when you get out there and you perform, okay, and you sing, and you can get these messages out even in between, certainly in cabaret, and certainly so they'll be receptive. All of us have to find a way to reach those other people. That's what I believe.
Well, I also think that it's a matter of listening, because if you come up and say, "Oh, I'm right and you're wrong," that's not going to help in any way, shape, or form.
Right. So, moving right along.
But I was going to say, kind of in transition to that or along that line, you have been blocked a few times or in Facebook jail or Twitter jail a few times.
Let's talk about
for your political
Coby
beliefs.
Koehl, how many times, I need to know, how many times have you been in Facebook jail?
Well, first of all, I am the Nelson Mandela of social media. I've had to start 4 new accounts. I've had 3 Facebook pages taken down and 2 Instagram accounts. I hate Donald Trump Jr. And if I think he's being a piece of shit, I'm going to say, hey, motherfucker, you're being a piece of shit. And because he could say whatever he wants. And so why can't I? right?
Exactly.
I pay more taxes than he does. Okay.
But sweetie, you have been in Facebook jail more times. You're practically a felon.
Pretty much. And I'm on my third account. I'm on Coby Koehl 3.
Oh, that's what this number 3. I didn't know why.
Okay. I didn't either.
I thought it was Coby Koehl the third. I thought it was like family lineage, grandpa.
No, honey. There's only one Coby Koehl in the world. Did you know that? If you Google, there's only one Coby Koehl.
Uh-huh.
Now, your name, by the way, is gorgeous. Is your name?
Thank you.
Your parents are American. You were born in Israel. Is that an Israeli name, or I want to hear about your name?
Coby's an Israeli name. It's a derivative of Jacob, but on my birth certificate, it says Coby, and Koehl is my grandparents' name, my mother's maiden name, and Chippernoy. Want me to tell you that one again? Chippernoy is my dad's name. He's French and Russian, and so Chippernoy, they really tortured me in school with that one. They called me Chips Ahoy Cookies. I mean, they just went on and on. It's not the greatest name on an album cover. And and Koehl in Hebrew means voice. So I thought Coby Voice, which Koehl means Hebrew, Koehl I thought was a great name. So I just chopped the Chippernoy.
Okay.
I chopped the Chippernoy and stayed Coby Koehl. I'm Sue Ellen without the Ewing.
Sue Ellen, Dallas.
From Dallas.
Love it.
Well, first, you're watching If These Walls Could Talk with your host, Wendy Stuart and Tym Moss, and the amazing guest of ours, Mr. Coby Koehl, or Coby Singer, or Coby Voice. Coby Voice.
Coby Voice. Oh, wait, and I have to, yes.
Oh, I was just going to, go ahead.
I just have to read this. I love pulling quotes. There's been some great ones on you. Luxuriates in music like a cat rubbing against velvet.
That was a nice one. That was absolutely.
Well, I wanted to for everybody to get a little glimpse of the one and only Coby Koehl. There's only one Coby Koehl in the world, and he's here with us today. And we have a video.
Yes.
So let's take a listen. Take a listen to Coby Koehl.
Thank you.
When you say your last goodbye, I died a little bit inside. Laying tears in bed all night. Long without you by my side. 'Cause if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I wanted, Lord, I needed. I sing it. I'll find somebody like you.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Oh my
beautiful.
God.
What a voice.
That
Thank
voice
you.
is absolutely incredible.
You took my soul and
Thank
There we go.
you left me, but I never left you.
Thank you. Wow.
Oh my God.
You got two for the price of one.
There you go, a double header with Coby Koehl. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh
So the guy playing piano on the last song, Nick Rolfe, ended up playing piano for Aretha Franklin on her tour before she passed away. So I was honored to play with him first. And the first song you watched, All I Want, was from PANGEA at my show in 2016, a week after Donald Trump won. And everyone was so depressed and distraught. By the end of the show, everyone was like, thank you so much for lifting our spirits. And it was such a beautiful time and moment. You know, that was really one of my favorite shows of all time. And we were also just so distraught about Donald Trump. And they still showed up that night to see my show. And it was a very special night. It really was. And then it was downhill from there, of course.
No, but okay, let's talk about how you lifted people up with your song that night. Okay, that's what you did. And that's what we're talking about, how using your art to make a difference. You know, yeah, it was a messed up 4 years, but guess what? That night, and I remember how people were crying. It was so unbelievable because symbolically they knew what it meant. They knew that this division was now going to become a Grand Canyon. But you lifted them all up, Coby, and that's really what it's about.
Yeah. Honestly, it was the first time I really felt that it made a difference. Even if it was just for an hour, it was a very powerful night to be able to do it. And also for the people that showed up, it was a very, it was a nice together moment. You know, we were suffering together, really, because it was scary as hell. I'm still a little scared. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. But that's again, that is interesting because I think that is our role as artists. Is to just uplift people, just be ourselves, be authentic, lift people up when they need it.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
And nobody does that more than you, Tim. Okay.
Except for you.
Pandemic cooking with Wendy. We all knew somebody said to me, it's a drag comedy show. I said, you got it. That's exactly what it is. And my point was just to lift people up. You know, they shut New York down, as you know, March 16th. And like literally the next day I came up with the idea, and 2 days later I was shooting it 115 episodes later.
Incredible.
Really,
the other thing is, it's for us too. It helps us get through the rough times when we do our art and we sing and perform and do your podcasts and your things. It helps us get through the rough times as well.
Right. And
we have an outlet.
I can honestly say, and I'm sure Tim can say this too, my social life blew through the roof because of the pandemic. And now that things are open, these are all the people I'm hanging out with. Right. I went to see my friend Evan Lawrence in a wonderful play last night at the Playhouse on McDougal Street. I went with two amazing women, Cecily Williams, who you know, the singer.
She's wonderful, isn't she? And she can sing her ass off too.
Yes,
she can. She's got something up on her Facebook page today. And then Casey Steinman, who's an incredible person, a chef and a makeup artist. Those girls, actually, my relationships with them and a lot of other people were sealed during the pandemic. So once again, you know, we can use who we are as people to change the world and make a difference. I'm the girl whose glass is always full. Even if it's chipped on the side. I love that. Water in the glass. There you go. You can use that. So we were talking about PANGEA so much. Now you've been doing a dance party here once a month.
Well, it's not really it only looks like a dance party. It's actually like a talent showcase. I've had some really great singers come and perform. We also have the incredible DJ Gant Johnson, who's a fabulous, legendary DJ. He came back to New York recently, and he's all of a sudden the busiest DJ in New York because we missed him so much. He was away for a while. So it's an eclectic mix of great music, great singing, and I'm trying to do something different. You know, I feel like we don't always have a platform as singers to sing in New York, and so I created my own. And I think PANGEA is the greatest place in the world to sing. I love it there. I have been singing at PANGEA since 2006. No, 1996 this is the first time I ever sang at PANGEA. 1996.
In 96?
Yeah. So, 96. I did a show there with Cheetah Daniels Kennedy. Yes.
Wow.
Which is it's like 25 years ago, maybe more.
Yeah, I'm still counting. You'll have to excuse me.
So it's a long time ago. And I have to say, Arnaldo and Steven are phenomenal people. They do such a wonderful thing for the community. They bring us together, and they've really created something so special down there that I'm just honored to be a part of it. And I do my monthly thing there, and I'm going to do my birthday show on November 11th. And I just feel really lucky to have such a great place to sing, because, you know, I feel really at home there, and I love them. And I get very mushy talking about it, because when you find somewhere that loves you and accepts you and makes you a part of it, it's very special and it's very rare. So I'm very grateful to them.
Well, we feel the same. We totally feel the same way. And so do all the artists that come down here and support PANGEA. Now, you've been doing cabaret since the 90s. Tell us some of the different.
Well, I did a lot of things. I did cabaret. I had a band. I did some house music. I had a record come out a couple of years ago called Vogue Is My Religion, which I thought the message there was kind of important. It was about unity and love and acceptance.
Right.
I wrote it because we had a trans woman killed in my neighborhood, and so I wrote it in her honor. And so, you know, I'm lucky that I have a platform, but I do it all. I sing opera. You know, I sing, honey. I sing whatever I can. Opera, house, gospel, cabaret. So I'm more than just a cabaret singer.
Absolutely.
I know, and you can sing anything. Now, I'm going to ask you a very contrived question that probably doesn't even apply to you. Did you ever have to like study voice, or it's just you came out of the womb singing? I know that. Yes,
but I think, like I said earlier, the Duke Ellington School, really, I learned technique. I learned about breathing, how to sing, you know, with your diaphragm.
Yeah.
And those things really help. The other thing that I really learned about too much training is it takes the natural ability out. And when you sound too trained, then you really are stuck in a box of being too operatic and too Broadway-ish, and then you can't sing other things.
Absolutely.
So too much training could kill the natural ability and make it too, you know, everything sounds like this. I don't want to be singing Erykah Badu on and on and on and on. You know, I just don't want to. So you consciously have to remember the technique, but let go of the training sound. And so I think it takes practice, because for a little while I was singing everything like opera and Broadway from the 80s. Even Broadway now, doesn't it sound different? It doesn't sound like that anymore. They changed the sound of Broadway, so it's more pop sounding. Right. Did you notice that?
But it still has a very common sound. Like so many of the shows have similar sounding voices
like
and all of
that.
But
they cast for that.
Right.
They look for like the Kristen Chenoweth sound and
the belter. They love a good belter, right? They love a good belter.
Yeah,
absolutely. The belting is still there. It sells tickets. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're
one thing
belter, but I got to say this about Tim. Such emotion. You're not like that. It's not the belting one's there. It's fine for Broadway, but you're not feeling anything when you belt. It's like, oh my God, the hairs go up on my neck. That's an emotional base.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. But also, if you listen to records these days, there is no emotion. Everything's auto-tuned and everything sounds as the chorus is exactly the same. There's no inflection. There's no nuances. Everything sounds computerized. So I think when we see great singers and we're touched by them, I just saw Raven O at PANGEA.
It's going to be happening December 19th. Thank you for having me make that announcement. So that's
and let me tell you, I cried. I cried during that show.
Right. I didn't get.
And then I saw Tim Moss. I don't know if you know Tim Moss, but I saw Tim Moss's show about 2 months ago, and he made me cry a couple of times too. So you know, when you get touched by a show, it really means a lot, because so much out there is just, there's no feeling. It's so unreal. It's fake, like fake news, fake singing. You know what I mean?
It's Fox singing.
Everything has a filter. Everything has a filter on it. Everything has a filter on it.
But while your video was playing, while your video was playing, we were saying that you sing from just like not from your stomach. You just go clear down to your feet and just pull it up.
Coby, I thought it was coming from your crotch. I'm like, that voice is coming from way down there.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like I sing from the heart. I've been through some shit and I've survived a lot. And I just feel like when I sing, it's a way for me to release it and just do it. So I'm glad that it sounds like that. You know, I don't mean it to, but it does. And thank God. You know what I mean? I sing from the heart.
Yeah, you just put everything into it. One thing
One thing
that I want to touch on is your friendship and relationship with Boy George.
Oh, okay.
Well,
we're not friends anymore, but I'm still a big fan.
Can we talk about the falling out?
Well, let's talk about how you
the falling out is like, listen, when people are a celebrity on that level, they're just so huge. Everyone else is disposable. There's always somebody else around the corner, right? There's always a new gadget, a new thing, and a new exciting thing. I fulfilled my time. I spent 18 months working with him. We recorded some songs. I lived with him in his house twice. I opened up for him in concert, and it was amazing. And what I really think about it now in retrospect, it was like the magic carpet ride that ended too soon. But he was on to the next thing, and that's okay. I'm not angry with him. The falling out was stupid, you know. It was, you know, it is what it is. But I think he's amazing. I'm still a fan. I listen to his music. I'm watching what's going on, and I'm always going to love him and the time we spent together, because just remembering the fallout is stupid because we had all that other time that was so amazing. And in retrospect, I just have to really like love it and just accept it for what it was. It was phenomenal. I mean, how many people get to sing with Boy George in concert? Not that many. And I feel really blessed to do that.
I never got to spend 18 months with him. You did.
Yeah. Well, it was a span of 18 months where he managed me. I lived with him twice in his house. I mean, who gets to live in his house and shit in the same toilet? You know what I mean? It was amazing.
His bathroom like.
Well, he has two. Yeah. Can I tell you a funny story? Can I tell you a funny story? Since we're talking about toilet humor.
Absolutely.
So my first night at Boy George's house, I just got some Panda Express at LaGuardia Airport. By the time I got to London, I had to take a massive doo-doo shit like you would not believe. It was nerves. It was everything. So I went upstairs to use his bathroom in his beautiful mansion. And it's one of these big bathrooms with a thing like you pull. Anyway, I took a massive shit.
They have those.
And I'm pulling like for 2 hours and nothing's coming down. And like, oh my God. It's my first night at George's house. I have a big dump in his toilet, and how the fuck am I going to get rid of the evidence? And I had to call him, and he looked into the toilet and saw this, you know, it started off like shit. You understand?
I would definitely say so. I have a question about that experience. Why did you not close the lid?
You know what? I don't think there was a lid. I think it was just like an antique toilet with just a seat on it. Or maybe, I don't know. That's a good question.
I know. Now I'm going to wonder
but
about
just imagine me pulling that string and like, oh, please, please. And nothing's happening. It was really right out of a comedy, honestly. But he came up and flushed the toilet for me. And then we went and had salmon. He's a great cook, by the way.
Is he? Wow.
Yeah.
The fact that you got to like live in his house and everything and open for him.
He's a great host. He's a great host. And his family's amazing. His sister and I got along famously. His brother drove me around. It was really a great experience. I'm not going to lie. I loved every minute of it, mostly. You know?
Coby, I'm listening to the stories and where you came from. You have to write a book. You do.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I wrote a musical called Survival of the Fetus. And I debuted it at La Mama ETC in 2001, I think. And it was basically about me and my life and my horrific childhood because my mother was kind of insane and my parents got divorced. And so after I wrote that play and sang those songs, it really helped me heal a lot of my problems.
Well, good.
You know, I relived it on stage and it really changed who I was as a person after doing it. So La Mama ETC, Nikki Perizzo, gave me such a great opportunity to write my own musical and do a workshop at La Mama. And it really changed my life because after doing that show, I actually flourished and became more of who I am because I was able to get rid of all that toxicity. How do you say it? Right. All that stuff I was carrying around with me that was preventing me from getting to the next level. And, you know, it really saved my life on the way too. You know, La Mama ETC.
Really, really great place. So you must have a lot of stuff coming up.
Yes. So, of course, you know my show November 11th at the wonderful PANGEA, 8 p.m. Yes, really excited about that. I'm in rehearsal mode right now. And I've been playing with my pianist for 20 years. You know, he was in my band.
Only 20 years? Tim's been doing it a lot longer than that.
Well, with the same pianist? You've been playing with the same pianist or the same penis? Which what?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said penis.
That's what I said. You've been doing it a lot longer than that. No, we just love double entendres on this show. We're just kidding. Jerking
No,
your
it's cool.
kidney.
Boy George's
I also have I sang some like a hook part on my friend Aris's new song that's coming out in late November, which we just did the video. I'm really excited about that. He's a great artist. You know Aris. He's so wonderful. And I'm excited about that. And once a month, I host my Nouveau Riche talent showcase with Gant Johnson at PANGEA, which is last Tuesday of every month. December is going to be on the 14th. We're doing a Christmas show because at the end of the month, everyone will be away.
Right.
And November 30th.
I have to write that down then. Yeah.
So you're going to be like the November 23rd and then back again December 14th.
November 30th and then the 14th. Yes.
Okay.
And then we won't be back till January.
Okay.
Yes. And I can't tell you the great guests that are coming. I mean, such great, talented people. I'm just really excited. People want a place to sing, and I'm so happy to be able to bring them together and just really enjoy other people's talents. It's just it's a gift.
You feel really good though.
I feel like,
when I went to your talent Nouveau Riche here, all of those performers, Midori, and there was another girl who was wonderful. You really make them all feel good. The atmosphere here, there's nothing polarizing. You know, a lot of the cabaret spaces, there's something about them. You go in and you don't feel like you can talk to a million people. I talked to so many people that night. It was such a positive.
It was beautiful.
And I apologize for missing the last one, but I will be here for the next two.
Wonderful. Are you going to come sing, Wendy?
I am. But you know, I only do parodies, so I write funny stuff.
I don't care.
I don't really sing. Yes, but I perform parodies.
That's not true. I actually heard you sing. I saw a video of you singing at PANGEA, and I thought it was great. I remember I sent you a message about it. You didn't even know who I was. And he said, "When did you hear me sing? Who the fuck are you?" You remember that? Like, who the hell are you? And I did send you a message about it like months ago before I met you. Yeah. So please come sing. We'd love to have you. And of course, Tim,
I'd love to.
You're always welcome, but you're busy.
Of course. Yeah, Tim sings like for real.
I know. So I'm really excited. You know, I feel like I'm at a place now where it's time for me to, you know, give somebody a platform, hone people's crafts with them, give them a place to sing, you know, host something. I just feel like really lucky to do that. You know, these are great, talented young women, Marjorie Goodman and Aviva, and I have just all these young, beautiful people coming.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah, weren't they amazing?
By the way, we have a bunch of people on today. Well, let's see. We have
Billy Hess says, "Hi, darling."
Hey, Billy Hess.
There's several.
Teresa Sabin, who's amazing. Hi, Teresa. She comes on every week. We love her.
One of the things that she was talking about during your video was he belts it out.
Right, and soulful.
Thank you.
Awesome outfits.
Yeah.
Nick Lyon says, "Hi everyone, great show. Coby Koehl is truly one of the great voices of our time. Looking forward to a special birthday show at PANGEA November 11th at PANGEA. It's going to be an epic evening."
Epic.
Yes, it will.
Thank you. Doesn't Nick Lyon look like George Michael? He looks like George Michael to me. He's so hot, right? Nick Lyon. Such a stud.
One thing I want to touch on, well, it kind of relates to Nick Lyon because he's always so stylish and so fabulous.
Yes.
But also you have a very specific, distinctive style. How did that develop?
Yeah, evolved.
You know, I don't know. I just I was always stylish, and that's why they beat the crap out of me in junior high school. You know, I always looked different. I was born that way.
But it's like somewhat Rudolph Valentino-ish in a modern
I like that.
way. Do you see that?
No, I would love that because, you know, Rudolph Valentino was like a beautiful skinny man. I'm like a chubby Jewish fat guy, you know, who sings like a black lady. So I'm all into it. Thank you so much.
If you look at the old silent movies, and I don't know how much of a silent movie buff you are, but the black and white ones, in sensibility, there are the similarities between you and Valentino are really absolutely unbelievable. And it's
I have to tell you honestly, I have to tell you honestly, my friend the Countess Zapak, she's a UK singer, phenomenal. I'm singing one of her. She said the same thing about Rudolph Valentino. So thank you so much. People see that. I love that they see that.
It's great.
Thank you. Thank you. And I also wanted to mention, you know, my show is called Baby Boy Piaf, and Greg Wolf, the jewelry designer, who's a legendary, touted me Baby Boy Piaf. And that's why I called my show that, because the first review I ever got was from Stu Hamstra. In 1997, he came to my show at Rose's Turn, and he passed away recently, rest his soul. He said to me, Coby Koehl is a phenomenal singer, sort of like Edith Piaf. So my first review, and I was just touted this by somebody else, it just made that connection of Edith Piaf. And even though I don't sing Edith Piaf songs, I'm old enough to be Edith Piaf, you know, wear the black dress and be crippled and like sing my ass off because there's nothing left. So I feel really happy, you know, to be associated with, you know, Edith Piaf. Isn't that wonderful?
Absolutely.
I love that, that he named me that.
Yes, well, you've also been compared to Stevie Wonder, Al Green, Luther Vandross. Yeah. Now, was that, this is a...
Yeah, I just took this quote.
That was a review of one of my shows.
Upholds
that
the
was
right
a review.
They said upholds the right of white boys to sing like the brothers. Wow.
Yes.
Well, that is.
Wasn't that a great compliment?
Yeah.
I did a show downtown somewhere, and that was a review in 2011. Yeah. You know, when somebody writes a great review like that, you have to. I found it recently. It's like, wow, you need to use that quote because it's really a sweet one. You know?
So Coby, I know you're producing, you know, your shows here now and bringing younger talent up, right, to expose them, as we've all been exposed. But in your own career, what's the grand scheme of things for Coby Koehl going forward?
Well, you know, when you get older, your priorities change, and now I think I'm, you know, I've written plays and musicals before. I'm concentrating on that. I'm always going to perform. I don't care if it's on a subway platform with a can. I have to sing, so I'm going to do that till the day I die. And I'm just going to continue doing what I love because, you know, as we can see, life is hard and it's difficult and it's too short. Look at all the amazing people we've lost over the last 18 months who are no longer here, who can't do what they love. And I'm going to keep on trucking, you know, and that's all. I think it's so important to just focus and do what you love and try to get through life, you know. Fame and fortune, you know, I just want to survive in this world, basically.
Absolutely. So if you know, if money concerns and audience concerns and promo and all of that, what would you do? What would you love to do? What would be your pinnacle? Like if there were no obstacles or barriers?
Well, of course, I'd love to sing forever and every day, you know, and just do that as a living. You know, because everybody wants to do what they love for a living.
Sing like on
Broadway tours, cafes, anywhere. You know, I can sing anywhere. Just give me a good mic and a good sound system, and we're set. I definitely want to write. I'm thinking I'm doing more script things, musicals, television. I mean, I'm writing right now about the 90s in the Lower East Side, you know, about when I moved here and how different it was. And so I'm working on that right now, and we'll see what happens. You just never know. I mean, look at the guy who wrote Pose, right?
Right.
You just never know. So keep doing it and something's going to stick.
Or also,
it might be gum, it might be shit, but something's gonna stick.
And maybe it wouldn't be spaghetti. Coby, do you have any plans to take your repertoire to Israel? Connection with Israel.
No, I never thought of that.
Maybe.
I'm getting all these, you know, because I somewhat channel, not everybody, but I've gotten 3 hits on you today. They've all been correct. This was the 3rd one. And I saw, you know, something happening with Israel.
What happened? What do you mean? Oh, really? Oh, are you psychic?
I am.
Listen,
I got you on the other 2. You know, I brought up Rudolph Valentino, and then I hit you on something else. So I can't pick. Am I going to be tall and skinny in the future? I just want to know. You will be the height you are, but at some point you could get all the fat sucked out, like I want to do with liposuction.
I might have to.
I'll go around.
I better sell some tickets to my show first before I get the schmaltz taken out. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to just, because we're winding down. What do you look for in a partner? What has worked for you in the past in relationships? What do you love?
I think a true friendship is really important. Sex is great. A supermodel is great, but at the end of the day, you have to get out of bed. You have to have some kind of you have to get along with people that you're spending your life with. And the truth is, my need to have a man is really diminished as when I get older, because I'm very independent. I concentrate on my music. I do what I love. I mean, everybody wants to get laid, but I don't need a man, to be honest with you. And maybe it's because I'm used to not having one. So I don't know. If I ever meet somebody, that would be great, but it's not a pressure that I have to have a partner. I have my cat who loves me and kisses me every morning.
That's all that matters.
But if any men are interested, I'm available.
It's always good to have a nice furry pussy right there waiting for you.
Right? One that's not yours.
How much is that?
Either of you know about that. My God.
Oh, by the way, I didn't even come out of a pussy. I was a C-section.
Oh.
Wow, there you go. And you were singing. I know you were.
I was. Oh my God. This has been so much fun, you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Now, tell everybody how they can reach you.
976-HUNK or YouTube. Instagram, Coby Koehl 1. YouTube, Coby Koehl 2. Anne Klein 2. Vogue is My Religion is available on iTunes. And come see my show November 11th at the incredible PANGEA.
Right,
and I love you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Chauncey, for having me too.
We would be lost without our producer. Now, Coby, people can also find you on Facebook, right? They can follow you on
maybe.
Facebook.
Depends. I might get blocked off today because I said something about insurrectionists and Nazis who are Republicans. I might be blocked already. I'm not sure.
Our show will be bleeped. I'll get some YouTube that will tell me we can't show this in Korea.
Hate
right?
crime.
We can't have it in Korea. Or
hate speech.
Yeah, hate speech.
Right. The truth happens to be hate speech these days, right?
That's a T-shirt, Coby. The truth happens to be hate speech. Yes.
Or a song title.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
See, that's how we get our message across, writing songs about it.
Right.
Yep. Oh my God, Coby, thank you so much.
Right.
I just love it.
Thank you. This was so much fun. I love you guys.
Wendy and Tim have fun, and we're going to see you, of course, on the 11th or sooner. I'm definitely going to write down the next dance party, and
thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Yeah,
congratulations on such a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tell your friends.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys.